Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera and salam Malaysia Madani. On behalf of Institute Aminuddin Baki, it is my great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to all esteemed school leaders and educators to our webinar titled Driving English Excellence in Schools. I am Puan Masdiana binti Cik Jamil, Head of Leadership and Language Management Department from Institute Aminuddin Baki, Bandar Enstek. So we are delighted to welcome Dr. Kaminda Chitko, Deputy Director of the English Language Teaching Center. Please welcome Dr. Kaminda. How are you today, Doctor?
I'm fine. Thank you, Puan Mas.
Okay, thank you for your time, for being here as our special guest for this webinar. So, Doctor, a bit about Dr. Kaminda. Dr. Kaminda, she served as Deputy Director at the English Language Teaching Center. So, in this capacity, she leads the strategic planning and implementation of continuing professional development initiatives for English language teachers nationwide. With over 36 years of dedicated service in the English language teaching fraternity, Dr. Kaminda has witnessed firsthand the evolving landscape of education. She firmly upholds the belief that the heart of effective teaching and learning lies in the passion educators bring to their practice and the system as a whole. So we go straight to the title of the webinar today, Doctor. Shall we start, Doctor?
Yes.
The title is Driving English Excellence in School. Okay, somehow it is not a destination. It is a journey that involves every teacher, every student, and most importantly is navigated by strong leadership. From the title itself, Dr. Kaminda, what it truly means in leadership and also in school culture.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, Puan Masdiana, thank you very much. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Institusi Aminuddin Baki for this invitation to be able to speak to all our headmasters who are following this webinar. It is a genuine honor to be here to discuss on a topic that is so vital in today's times, which Puan Masdiana just mentioned, driving English language excellence in schools. So if we look at this title, driving English excellence in school, meaning that it implies an action that has to be taken by the school leaders. The school leaders, first and foremost, must understand that if you want to drive excellence, you must have a vision about how you want to achieve excellence in English. Once you have a vision, you will know how to plan and you will know how to bring it forward. So driving excellence, it is not about passively waiting for results. You can't just tell your teachers in the schools, okay, please make sure English excellence in school is achieved. It's about you first setting the stage, you creating the environment as a school leader, and you leading the teachers. It's just like sitting in the driver's seat and taking the car to where you want to take it to. So your destination is excellence. You as a school leader are the driver, and you are the one who has to clearly set which road to take, which track to move to. Is it left? Is it right? Is it go straight ahead? And what are the decisions that has to be made? So what we are talking about here when we talk about driving English excellence in school, in terms of leadership, we are talking about visionary leadership. A leader needs to have a vision as to where I want to bring my school in order to achieve excellence in English, and how am I to do it. And then he gets all the school to support his vision to achieve this. So basically, this is what it means. And excellence, when we talk about excellence is not something that can just happen by chance. Okay? In order for excellence to take place, it needs to be built. It needs to be built and it needs to be led by a leader who has a vision. So when we talk about driving English language excellence, you need to apply visionary leadership, you need to set directions, you need to get every person has a role to play along with the school leader in order to achieve excellence in English language. So that is the perspective that I see when we look at this topic today, Puan Mas Diana.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Okay, that's perfect into our first segment, which is all about the vision. Yeah? The vision, the leader's role in setting the direction. So we are going to dive into how principal or school heads can move from just policy to actual practice in championing English. So to kick off, Dr. Kaminda, from a leadership standpoint, so why it is not enough for a principal, for a school heads to just delegate English programs to the English panel? Why must they personally lead this vision?
Okay, this is very important. The question here is, why is it not enough for a principal to just delegate the programs? Why must the leader personally lead the vision? So this is very important. A principal, a school leader, a school head cannot just hand over English programs maybe to the English panel and tell the English panel, please do your best. It doesn't work in that way. Leadership is more than just giving a person a task to do. You must first sit with your group of teachers. You must set the directions because your people are waiting for how you want and where do you want to take them. So the principal, the school leader need to take the lead, and you need to understand a very strong message here that English isn't just the job of the English language teacher. It's not just the job for the English language teacher, it is everybody's business in school, and first and foremost, it is the business of the school leader. It comes as a whole school goal. The school leader must set the big picture. So now the question is, does the school leader have a big picture? Alright, so you need to have in your mind a vision in order for you to have a big picture. You must have a goal, you must have your destination. You know what your teachers need. You must be able to provide the teachers with the resources. So the involvement of the leader shows support, shows commitment, and shows a moral obligation of the leader towards the cause of achieving excellence in the school for English language. So in order for a program to be successful, the leader can't just delegate. The leader has to be the lead. The teachers, the school staff must see that the leader is with us. Not that the leader is aside and we are the one doing and making every decisions. They should not feel alone. So should a leader delegate or should a leader lead? Yes, the leader must first lead and then allow them to do their jobs in delegation.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. I love the way you framed that, yeah? Okay, from ELTC's perspective, Doctor, what is it the single most important thing a school leader should understand about creating a conducive environment for language learning?
Okay, so here we are talking about creating a conducive language learning environment. So the one thing that we must understand for school leaders, we need to understand that to create a language environment, it cannot just happen overnight. It doesn't happen only with a few people getting involved. It happens when a school leader is able to put in the effort. First, the school leader must put in the effort to show how to create the right environment, and then the leader must be able to also see how I can get everybody involved in creating the environment. All right, so that's the most important thing. You want to create an environment for English language learning. It cannot be done alone. It cannot be done by a small group of teachers. It is a whole school effort, and to lead this, the leader must always be there. And the other thing that we must understand is when we talk about creating a conducive environment for language learning, don't just think of the classroom. The environment for language learning is both what happens inside the classroom and also what happens within the ecosystem of the school. So meaning that English communication, it has to take place in the corridors of the school, during assembly, in the daily interactions between teachers in the staff room, in the daily interaction between the teachers and the students. When there's English everywhere, it means that the whole school, led by the leader who also speaks in English, like English bahasa at times, all right, bilingually, a whole school approach is so important in creating a language learning environment. So this means that every teacher, starting with the school head must be the first model that uses the language in order to create this environment. Then all the teachers are the models for the students. Every space in the school should be a space where the students feel that they can speak English. So honestly, language excellence is not only about having learning happening in the classroom. It's not about grammar and all that. It's about communicating everywhere and anywhere in the school. It's having confidence in communicating, very simple things like every morning when the school leader sees a teacher, good morning, madam, how are you? And when the students see the school head, they should say, good morning, sir, principal. All right. And then the principal can ask, how are you today, John or Abu or Ahmad? Just simple communications like this will build a immersive language learning environment. It will set an ecosystem where English is everywhere within the school. In other words, English can then become the school's heartbeat, the pulse of the school. It's not just a subject, it becomes a culture of the school. So that is how a school leader should aim to build a conducive language learning environment within the school.
Okay. How can a leader effectively articulate and cascade the vision so that every teacher, not just the English teachers, feel a sense of ownership?
Okay. So, a sense of ownership is, to me, the key to everything. Getting every teacher to feel a sense of belonging for English language programs and excellence. And it is not something that can be done by just asking a teacher. Like the school head tells the teacher, okay, why don't you do it? It doesn't start like that. It starts with the leader himself or herself championing English in the school and making sure that everybody understands what the leader has in mind. You want ownership, you must first have an ownership of the program for yourself. So if I'm a school leader, I must first have an ownership for all the English language programs. Then I must make my school teachers understand, that these English programs are not mine, are not yours, they are our school's initiative, they are our school's excellence. You must get the teachers to accept this vision, this understanding that the school leader has, and only then, the school leader is able to move along with the teachers in order to achieve the vision and mission of a program. For example, if a school leader has a vision, you want to build a vibrant English language speaking culture in the school where every student is a confident and competent user of the language. The school leader must first set a strategy. How do I achieve this strategy? Number one. Number two, build the understanding and acceptance of this strategy with the school teachers, with the school staff, and make sure that the teachers have the competency, Sometimes the school leaders will tell the teachers, this is what I want, how we want to do it. But the teachers don't have the skills, they don't have the competencies, they don't have the resources. So the school leader needs to also ensure that all of these things are happening before these cascades can take place. So must promote language activities. You need to give students the opportunity to use the language, and then it becomes an ownership for everyone. Every student will feel this program is mine, and the schools, the teachers will feel it is my program. The school leader will be leading and know that I am taking my school ahead with these English language programs. So it's not about cascade, it's all about owning it in the first place and feeling a sense that it is important for me, for the teachers, for the students, and for the school. Then you build ownership. And once you have built ownership, then you will find that programs excel and they churn out very good outcomes. So the sense of ownership is very important. For school leaders, you must really know how to create this ownership. Ownership in yourself, ownership in the teachers, and ownership in the students. So you should be able to send this message to everyone as a school leader that English matters not only for me, not only for the teachers, but also for the students' future. And the teachers must send a message, we are all here to help the students. And the school leader's message is, I am here to lead and to set the stage for all of us to achieve our ambition of achieving excellence in English language. So when the leader is able to put all of these beautiful things in place, then you will be able to see how a sense of ownership is built around not only English programs, any other programs.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. So this leads us perfectly into our second segment, which is the strategy. Yeah, the strategy empowering your most valuable asset, which are the teachers. So here we want to focus on leaders' guide to supporting and developing their English teachers. I'd like to start by asking you, Dr. Kaminda, what does effective modern English teaching actually looks like in a classroom today? And what are some key indicators a school heads or a principal should look for during classroom observations?
Okay, right, Kwanma. So there are two questions that you have asked me here. Let's talk about the first one first. The first question is, what does effective English language teaching look like in the classroom? Okay. Now, when we talk about effective English language teaching, it is not just about finishing the textbooks. It is not just about following the syllabus and a lesson plan. Now, effective English language teaching meaning teachers should be able to prepare students for real world situations. So what do we mean by real world situations? Teachers should help students communicate in English. Teachers should show students how to use language functionally to explain, to persuade, to describe, to negotiate, to give opinions, to solve problems, and to speak critically. So, effective English language teaching, it's not one where the teacher just does all the talking and the students just listen. It's not a banking activity where the teacher banks all the information into the students. It is more than just that. It is interactive. What we are trying to build in an effective language learning classroom is interactive competence where students speak. They don't just listen. So students are active. They are speaking, they are listening, they are reading, and they are writing, but with a purpose. And try to communicate language learning in the classroom or language learning anywhere in the school to real life situations. So language is not about memorization. Grammar is important, but grammar comes after you have conquered fluency. There are two things here, Puan Mas, accuracy and fluency. We focus first on fluency. Get your students to build their confidence to be fluent speakers, and accuracy comes later when you try and strengthen your sentence structures in English. So effective English language learning is all about learning to use the language in meaningful, real ways. That is for the first question. For the second question, what are some of the key indicators a school head or a principal should look for during classroom observations? Now, this is very good. In fact, all school leaders should make an attempt to see what is happening in the classroom within their school when it comes to English language. So when a school leader decides to observe a language classroom, go to the classroom and listen carefully to the interactions. Observe whether students are speaking or is it only the teacher. Who is doing the talk? It should be the students. They should be the ones doing most of the talking. Ideally, students should be speaking more than 50% of the time in a classroom, because you cannot learn language by being silent. You want to learn a language, you must speak the language. You must use it. So students should not be observed to be silent and merely listening to the teachers. When you go into the classroom as a school leader to do observations, try to hear if students are using the language in an authentic manner, whether they are using it functionally or are they just memorizing spelling, memorizing sentences, doing drills. You don't want them to do all that. You want them to speak naturally. Even if it is not perfect, remember, fluency first and then accuracy can come. So as a school leader, when you go into the classroom and you look for indicators of good English through your observations, ask yourself, when you are standing in front of a classroom or outside the classroom, looking in, your teachers are doing, a leader can ask these questions to himself or herself. Are the students engaged? Are they talking? Are they interacting? And is this classroom giving students an opportunity to speak without worrying about making mistakes? Now, I'm using classroom. I'm not using the teachers here. Remember, just now I said the school head will ask, is the classroom giving the students a space? Because I don't want it to sound as though we are blaming the school teachers. No, the whole thing is the lesson. The teacher is the driver who brings the lesson. So the lesson must be planned in a way that it allows the students to communicate. The activities, the tasks that the teachers do in the classroom must allow students to use the language without worrying first about mistakes. Mistakes can be attended to later. We must remember an effective English language classroom is not measured about how quiet the students are or how good the discipline in the classroom is. It is measured by how alive it sounds. So for an English language classroom, if the school leader walks by the corridor and sees the classroom very quiet, they will say, oh, bagus, very good discipline. But actually, it's not that. For English language classroom, it must be alive, because you want to hear students talk, you want to hear them use the language. So these are some of the indicators that can be used both by the school heads and also by the teachers of English language.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Okay, so what are the practical ways a school leader or a principal can support teacher development beyond just sending them for courses? How do they create a culture of continuous learning?
Okay, all right. Now, sending teachers for external courses is good. All right. So, they go, they meet people, they meet experts in the field. That's good, no problem. But if we are talking about real lasting development, it actually happens inside the school. Yeah. So when you ask what are the practical ways in which a school leader can support CPD of teachers, not just by sending them for courses. It would be what actually happens inside the classroom. So as a school leader, the job of a school head is to create a kind of environment where the teachers can keep learning, can keep growing, and can support one another every day. So the big question is, how do you do this? Now, for example, during the staff meeting between the school head and the teachers, the school head can also keep encouraging the teachers to learn by asking questions like, so just before we start the meeting, can you tell me what is something new, a new pedagogy, a new initiative, a new activity that you did in the classroom this week? And what was the outcome? So when a school head starts a meeting in this manner, one, it creates a very warm environment, and two, it allows the teachers to think. It sparks reflection, and then everybody starts talking, everybody starts sharing. Now, the other important thing is, other than doing this at staff meetings, you as a school leader, you must think about how do I strengthen PLCs, professional learning communities. Now, professional learning communities must be understood. The spirit behind a professional learning community is sharing information, sharing practices, sharing issues, and solving issues. So when you talk about PLC, it should not be just another meeting where all the teachers sit down, meaninglessly. It should be a very meaningful meeting where the teachers actually meet, where they actually talk about real challenges together, where the teacher who is very successful in a strategy says, did this activity, this was the outcome, and I'm sharing it with all of you. It should be a place where another teacher can come and say that I have this student is so problematic, I don't know how to handle this student, can all of you help me? That should be PLC. So when we're talking about PLC, it's really very good. It's happening in the school. It is exactly what a good PLC should look like. But does the school leader find the time to allow teachers to do PLC? Because when teachers go into schools, they teach. They have a timetable starting from maybe 7:45 in the morning up to 1:30. And then they do their co-academic, co-curricular activities, and they go home. At what time do teachers do PLC? Now, over my years of experience, I would recommend that if you are a proactive school leader, try and allocate maybe 2 weeks once, 1 hour, and tell all your teachers, sit in their own panel heads, their own panitia mata pelajaran, and discuss issues in a real form of PLC. Can a school leader do this? Can a school leader find the time to get the teachers to actually sit down in the school, their own panel, subject panels, and discuss all the good practices, the challenges, and find answers? This is so important, and there are very few school heads who do this. So we need to encourage the school heads to do this. Now, the third way, in order for us to develop this, not just sending teachers for courses, is to encourage peer sharing. They call it teacher agency. Teacher agency means I, as teacher A, should be able to share with teacher B what I feel my strong points are, what I feel my weak points are, without being afraid. Because you see, one thing that we have observed is that many teachers don't share. So who is going to encourage them to share? Who is going to build the culture of sharing in the school? It is the school leader. So encourage all the teachers to sit down, even in the staff room, to share with each other their lesson, do lesson study circles, have a 10-minute talk time where teachers get to talk to one another, and the school leader can do this. Like maybe after the school is over, let's say the school finishes at 1:30. From 1:30 1:35 to 1:45, 10 minutes. Teachers talk to one another in the staff room, sharing their experiences of the day. Today I entered this classroom, I did this lesson, I found that I didn't succeed in my lesson. I wonder why. So the friend who is listening can probably ask, what did you do? How did you do it? And then maybe suggest what happened and why it did not work very well. So the teacher talk is very important. Teacher talk, teacher sharing is very important. And finally, Puan Mas and to all the school heads out there, it all comes down to mindset. It all comes down to mindset. A leader, a school leader, really you are like a gardener. You know, you have a garden of flowers, you have roses, you have hyacinth, you have so many types of flowers. You are a gardener. As a gardener, your job is to nurture your teachers, nurture your students, build the culture of continuous learning and continuous development. Now here, Puan Mas, I want to highlight one thing. Coming from the English Language Teaching Center, who looks at English language programs, activities and initiatives, one of the programs that we are giving in order to help teachers achieve excellence is the professional upskilling of English language teachers. This is a program where we are helping teachers to achieve good proficiency for themselves so that they can then become good teachers to the students. Now, we would like the school heads to be the leaders in the school, taking accountability, asking their teachers, how many of you have achieved your proficiency levels that have been set by the Ministry of Education for English language teachers, CEFR C1. All English language teachers have achieved the CEFR C1. School heads need to lead this program in the school, ask the teachers. For those of them who have not achieved, what are the school leaders doing for them? It's not only the job of the Ministry of Education. In the school leaders can do PLC, can give support to these teachers, can encourage them to go and listen to English announcement on radio, can ask them to read, can ask them to write in order to help them improve their English before they sit for the proficiency test. So the ownership should come to the school leader, because the school leader must want to make sure that English excellence is in the school. So if you make it your vision, you will do what you can to uplift your teachers. So that is one example that I can give, where the school leader needs to lead and make that as part of your own program for the teachers, right? And school leaders must really understand that the competency of teachers is not built on sending them for courses. You send teachers for courses, they take the information, they come back, that's it. But what is happening in the school? Learning culture for the teachers, the space for the teachers to interact, communicate, must be built by the school leader in the environment of the school. So the leader has to lead this. Puan Mas.
Okay. That's about the strategy, Doctor. Okay. Our third segment, we will explore the environment, building an immersive ecosystem. So we are looking at how to cultivate a whole school English culture that goes beyond the official timetable. So Doctor, I'm sure many principals and school leaders, school heads listening are wondering, what are some high impact, low cost initiatives that they can implement to get students using English outside of formal lessons?
Okay, very interesting question, Puan Mas. Okay, now I'm sure many leaders think that in order to have a initiative run in school, you need a big budget. If you want to make English language come alive outside the classroom, you need a big budget. But that is not true. You don't really need a big budget. It's not true. What you need to have are simple, low-cost activities that generate creativity consistency. All right, because what you want to do is you want to make English visible in the environment. You want English to be heard. You want English to be spoken by students every day in the school. So here are some ideas that you can use. Now, I believe that every school under the highly immersive program that started in 2016 tried to develop a speaker's corner. All right, many school heads did that, but we also realized when we went down to visits that a lot of these speakers corners, a lot of effort was put in to put the books there, to put the table there in the school in one corner, but it was an empty corner. All right, so you have invested, it's not high impact. Now all you need for a speaker's corner is just a spot. You don't need to put tables, you don't need to put chairs. Find a conducive place, maybe in the canteen or maybe along the corridor or in the assembly ground, and all you need to put is a chair and give the students a mic. High impact, low budget, very high impact activity, and then work with the school teachers to arrange during recess time before the school starts. You know, some students, they come very early to school. Some students are there in school at 6:45, but lessons start at 7:45. What do the students do for the 1 hour? Some of them go to the classroom, put their head on the table and sleep. Don't let them do that. Now use this speaker's corner and get the students to go there, pick up the mic, maybe share a story, share a poem, do something that is fun, share a joke, you know, anything that will get the students to talk. So students can, you don't need to control them, you know, just tell students, okay, 7 or 8 of you, go to the corner, speak. Okay, so they just take the mic, they speak, give it to the next friend speaks, and the third friend speaks. So as the other students start coming to school, they are already hearing their friends talking in English. So that is one. Before our school starts, during recess, the 20 minutes recess, get some students to go to the speaker's corner and sing English songs. I have even seen school heads singing English songs during assembly. So if you are a school head who's got a wonderful voice and you can sing in English, sing a song for your students in one of the assemblies. Very simple, no big budget, but very high impact, because when the school leader sings, the students will follow because they get so excited seeing their big boss up there speaking, right? So it's fun, it's voluntary, it is a great confidence booster. The next one, you can also have an activity called English Ambassador. Now, what does English Ambassador mean? Meaning that the school leader can work with the school teachers to identify every class, that means the better classes, the weaker classes, don't matter. We want to have access and equity for English language. Every class will have one English ambassador. So this particular student can lead all English language activities for the class. Let's say the English Society has got competition. The ambassador of the classroom is the one who will organize, who will operationalize, who will get their friends involved in these school-based English language competitions and also activities. The class ambassador can go to the assembly in the morning and do presentation or train other students in the class to do the presentation. So the English ambassador is a very, very important figure in every class. So tell your class teachers, appoint one English ambassador, someone who can generally speak in the English language, and this person is in charge of activities for the class during English Day, English Week, English competitions that are run in the school. No budget, yet very high impact activity. Now, the other thing that the school heads can do is you can tell your school, 5 minutes read activity every morning. Doesn't matter whether it is a maths class, science class, but 5 minutes in order to generate English excellence in the school. 5 minutes everybody reads at the start of the day or at the end of the day. Short reading, you can read anyone. It can be a teacher reading, it can be a student reading, it can also be the principal reads over the PA system. The school head can say, today I want to read a short story over the PA system, and the whole school listens. So everybody listens in English, everybody reads in English. And you can also have during recess music in the canteen. If you have a PA system, music that plays English songs. So students are listening to the English language, the English vocabulary, the English sentences, the English structures, and then it normalizes. So over time, the culture of English excellence, the culture of English language builds in this school. Now you can also do many other activities like an active word of the week, meaning the school head will say, okay, this week the active word for the week is sunshine. Okay, I give you the word sunshine. The school head gives the word. So the whole week, the teachers and the students try to use sunshine in their daily interactions. Like the school teachers, they can go into the classroom. Okay, all of you who have finished your homework, you are all my sunshine because you're good. You have done the homework. So they use the sunshine. So how do you use the word many times over the week? The next week, the school head can say, okay, the word for the week, the second word for the week is maybe something else. So this is an activity called an active word of the week. No budget, high impact once a day. Yeah. So it's not always about how do I get this activity started by having money. It's more about how do I get students to use the language. And to use the language, you don't need budget. You need students to actually use this language. In the earlier days when I was a student, Puan Mas, we had this activity called the DEAR program. I think many school heads know this. The Drop Everything program. Meaning that in my school, when I was a student, every day, 5 minutes before we close school, 5 minutes before school ended, or even 10 minutes before school ended, no matter which subject it is, everybody will stop and everybody will take out. 1 week it is English materials, 1 week it is Bahasa Melayu materials. So they read, alternately. And that 10 minutes is nothing but everybody reading. And that is how I start the reading habit. So reading matters. These 10 minutes of reading really helped everyone in the school to cultivate and develop the reading habit, which is so important because a lot of people nowadays, they don't read English materials. The internet is there, the chat GPT is there, so nobody reads anymore. So reading is a skill that is dwindling, going away. We want to capture it back again. So these are some of the simple activities that a school principal can do. And one more thing that school principals can do, you have a good PA system, you can actually do a student podcast program. Why not? Do a student podcast program. The ambassadors from the every class can be the first people to start this student podcast. So get the students to share their podcast in English about topics they enjoy. Any topics. So they do a podcast and then they share it with all the other students. It can be creative, it can be a few students doing it together, and it is a very good way to build all the speaking skills, listening, speaking, reading, writing, and also developing critical and creative thinking. So all of the activities that I've just shared, they are all simple, low cost, high impact activities which all school heads can try out in your schools starting today. You can start today to try this out.
Okay, doctor. Next is how important is the print-rich environment, for example, posters and sign, in supporting language acquisition, and how can leaders spearhead this?
Okay. Now, if you are asking about how important is the print-rich environment, I would say it is really very, very important because we have gone for school visits. Sometimes we walk into school and what we see in the school is nothing, very empty, very bare. So when you don't have this kind of print-rich environment, there is no motivation. When you go into a school like this, all bad, no motivation. The learning motivation, the feel of being in a school is not there. So yes, a print-rich environment is really very important. And when we talk about a print-rich environment, it is not just about taking a poster and putting it on the wall. Okay, every wall got poster. It's not just about that, but we are talking about something very, very powerful. Whatever you put on the wall, it is a very important tool that should help students learn English every single day in every corner of the school. Now, I remember I visited one of these international schools, Puan Mas, which is the Epsom International School. If the school heads got opportunity, do benchmark visits to the schools. When I entered this school and when I walked along the corridors, there were so many posters, signages, prints put along the corridors, but they were so alive. They were not just plain posters put there, but they were so alive. When you read the content, it is like telling you something to use an English word, how to use an English proverb, how to use an English expression, or how to understand grammar. It is something that when I stop there, when I read the poster, oh, this is how it is. So I get information about language learning. So they should not be just quiet posters. So when I walk along those corridors, I actually felt I was in Harvard and Oxford. I felt I was in Harvard and Oxford because so good. They were so good. They were telling a lot of things. So you must have a print-rich environment, but it must be meaningful. Your posters, your labels, your signs, your displays, they must tell students something about the English language. How do you expose students to functional English? Something that they can use every day. So when students walk through these corridors, when they look at all these walls, every day, day in, day out, it becomes a routine. It becomes something that the students see on an everyday basis. So they will start building their vocabulary, they will start building their confidence. So learning is happening in the background all day long. And how can leaders make this happen? School leaders, once again, you need to organize this. You need to set a very school-wide print standard. First of all, you must have a standard. What kind of posters should go on the wall? The length, the volume, the amount of writing. You can add a standard. A standard for all the print materials that must be put on the board. So get your teachers to come up with a standard guide, and then whatever is displayed, it must be clear, it must be neat, readable, not so many words inside that nobody wants to read, because too many words, there must be some visuals, there must be some words. Don't clutter the wall with so many posters that means nothing, because it's all about what can the poster teach the person who is reading the poster. If I'm looking at a poster, what can I learn from this poster? So the school head must make sure the teachers understand this, number one. Number two, don't just give it to the English panel heads. We are talking about English language to build the print-rich environment. Don't make it the business of only the English panel head. Make it the business of the whole school. Make it cross-curricular. Maths panel, the science panel, all subject panels, they can put up posters on English language in terms of the content of their subject. And finally, don't just put a poster there and one whole year the same poster is there. So after 3 months, the students have read, they bored, don't want to read it anymore. So keep it fresh, keep it relevant. The displays must be updated maybe every 2 months, every 3 months, and there must be students. The English ambassador of every class can be given the responsibility. Okay, this is the wall for class A. This is the wall for class B. This is the wall for class A. So the whole school, one wall belongs to one classroom. So that classroom take charge. So if the school head go around, this is not changed. The same poster, the 5 months, call the class. This class, this is your wall. Why are you not doing anything about your wall? So give the ownership to the students in that class. So the class teacher takes the ownership as well. All right. So that is how we can build the environment. All right, Mas?
Okay. Okay. Apart from that, the pre-teach environment, okay, how can school leaders leverage technology and digital resources to create more opportunities for students to engage with English?
Okay, so here we are talking about leveraging technology, which is of course a very important part of any learning environment. So one thing that maybe all the school leaders already know, we have a platform propagated by the Ministry of Education, which is the Lima. Okay, so the first thing first, if you want to leverage on technology within the environment, encourage the teachers, encourage the students, because both the teachers and the students, they have an ID for the Lima. Right, so they should leverage on this. If you go into the Lima, it is a technological platform offered by the ministry. It has a lot of resources for teachers, resources for students. Go into it and look at all the resources that are there. Okay, and the Lima, they have podcasts, they have YouTubes, they have clips that the students and teachers can use in order to listen to English language in a very natural manner. And it's not only textbooks that you learn English from. Now, in terms of technology, you can actually leverage technology to do activities that are related to gamification. So here, you can empower the English language society. Now, every school, you have English language society. The English language society can actually use technology to run English language activities outside the class. Every month or every week, students from the English language society can do gamification activities with students such as Kahoot, quizzes, work wall. All of this can be done as a competition, coordinated by the English language society, but for the whole school to use. So you are using technology, you are using it through your phone. Kahoot can be used on the phone. All right, every student can go home and answer quizzes on English language using Kahoot, and then when the answers come in, the English language society can see who is the one who answered the most correctly, and during assemblies, these students can actually be given appreciation certificates or even prizes. Now the next one, students can all be engaged in doing digital stories. So instead of asking them to write essays, teachers can actually tell students, okay, create a digital story outside the classroom. Get into groups, create digital stories, and once you have created them, you can upload them on Lima. You can upload them on the school's YouTube for everyone to see. Low pressure way of doing a lot of activities using technology. And you can also go one step further, use the Lima to connect globally. There are a lot of projects which students from other countries are doing, and you can actually use the Lima as a platform to do engagement with students from other countries or students from international schools. So technology is not only about using it for teachers to deliver a lesson in the classroom, like using the PowerPoint or using a smartboard. It is about giving students the opportunity to use technology to create English language activities or to do English language activities outside of the classroom. And that is how technology can be infused in the school's environment. All right, it turns English into something that students are studying but on their own, and it promotes self-learning for the students. So that's how technology can be leveraged on to create an environment outside of the teaching and learning.
Okay, so let's say our school leaders, our principal have done this. They have set the vision, they are empowering their teachers, and they are building this wonderful immersive environment. The next logical question is, how do we know it's working? So this brings us to our final segment, the assessment, measuring what matters. So this isn't just about exams, it's about monitoring progress and importantly celebrating success. So Dr. Taminda, how can a principal, school leaders effectively monitor these initiatives without it feeling like micromanagement? And how and what data should they be looking at besides just exam results?
Okay, all right. So school principals monitoring can be very, very fearful to a lot of teachers, like. So one of the questions that a school leader always asks, how can I monitor the progress of what is happening without making my teachers feel like I'm breathing down their necks, So how do I make them feel comfortable while I do monitoring? So monitoring should be something like support. It's a lot about communication, how a school head communicates to the teacher that I am going around, I am doing monitoring, but my goal is not to point out mistakes. So the communication should be there. My goal is to see what is going on with all the strategies that has been set in place and to see what is working, what is not working, so we can help to do improvement. So one of the ways that the school head can use is what I would suggest through learning walk. Okay, so you tell the teachers, actually I want to do a learning walk. I want to learn from all you teachers how you are doing things. But in a way, monitoring is going on. So in a learning walk, it is just a short 5 or 10 minutes walk, which the school head needs to do every day. Every day around the school, visit the classroom, look at the walls, look at what's on the posters. It will not seem like very formal. It is very informal, but at the same time, the school head is actually doing some observation and making some record and remarks. Okay, a quick walk in, give a smile as you walk so the teachers don't feel threatened, and then they say, our school head is doing his early morning walks. Okay, let him do his early morning walks or her early morning walks. Yeah. So after that, once you have done your morning walks, maybe when you have your PLC or with the teachers, or maybe when you have your meetings with your teachers, you can share some positive things. For a school principal or school leader, if you want to do monitoring and you want to share results with your teachers, always start on a positive note. Always say, okay, I did, I walked around the school and I picked up some very good practices, good things that teachers are doing. Share all the good things, and then you say, okay, besides these good things, there are a few gaps that need to be improved. So it's the communication, how you monitor. So you can do that by doing learning walks and sharing what you have seen, and starting by sharing the positive before you share the gaps. So that will build trust, that will build motivation with your teachers. Now, the second thing that the leaders can do is what I call participation rates. Now, what does this mean? So, meaning that you can actually get the teachers or the staff to see and to make records of are more students joining and taking part in activities in clubs or borrowing books from the library. That is also one way of seeing that students are actually doing the activities. So you have data. The data are your participation rates. So one is your learning walk, one is to check participation rates by asking someone to enter. Okay, this many students took part in this activity, then you can put it on your principal's blog. The third way of monitoring is by an activity that I would call student voice. So what does student voice mean? The school head is always talking to the teachers, always telling the teachers. Now what about the students? So the school leader must make a point, when you go for your walks, you can always call a student, talk to your students. Ask the students, are you feeling confident about using English? If the student says no, ask them why. And what activities have they been doing or not doing? If they say yes, I'm very confident, ask them which activity that you have done in the school that is giving you the confidence. So in that way, you are checking and monitoring on how the activities in the school are impacting the students. So it's not just by numbers, it's by the voice of the student itself. Ask them, so many activities happening in the school. Ask a student, Ahmad, which activity in the school did you enjoy most in this month of September? So many activities. So the Ahmad can say, I enjoyed the one activity when I had to go to the speaker's corner. I was able to sing an English song. So that activity is working very well. So those are anecdotal evidences from your students. Now the other one, of course, you can, when teachers do PLC, ask them to submit reports, and these reports become your data. When you're asking teachers to do PLC, the data will show teachers shared this input, teachers tried this activity. So all of this become your data to show are the teachers actually discussing, their real growth going on and things like that. And the other one is listen to language use. When you are going for your walks, listen. Is the school quiet, or is the school naturally noisy outside the class? Inside the class is one, outside the class, because this is the biggest sign of progress. When you walk along the corridor and you hear your students are chit-chatting in English, wow, my students can speak in English, good. They are confident, So it is not always about having formal numbers and for formal percentages. It's not always about that. When you talk about English language is something that grows, that is alive. And the only way to monitor it is by seeing how it is used. So use all these informal informal modes of doing monitoring. You don't necessarily have to have everything given to you with 80, 90 and all that. Those are just performance scores. Okay, if you want to know whether language is working and whether it is working with the strategies that you're using, you need real evidence. And the real evidence comes from voices, from listening to the language being used everywhere. So you can actually look at all this as some of the ways in which you monitor how the strategies that you are using in school are working. They are very easy to do. They're very qualitative in nature, but they are very strong. You can even have videos or recording of videos of your students talking. And when someone asks you, how is your school when it comes to English? You get a school inspector coming and asking, how is the school with English language? How are the students? Are they good in English? You tell them, wait, let me show you the video of my students on the video. Next, let me take you to the corridors. Listen if my students are speaking. Let the inspectors listen to the students speaking. And that is real evidence. You show them numbers, they don't trust you. They'll say, oh no, these are just numbers. So how true are the numbers? Show them the actual product of your school, your ambassadors, your students. Right?
Right. Okay. What are the merits of school-based assessment in developing communicative competence? And how can leaders or school heads ensure it is implemented effectively? About the competence. Yeah.
So here, Puan Mas, we are talking about school-based assessment. No?
Mhm.
Exams cannot measure, school-based assessments can measure. So that's the first thing you must know. The power of the SBA, the school-based assessment, is that it is done in the school and it is not a form of testing. It's not just testing. It's looking at something deeper than just testing. It's looking at the students and how they can actually use the language. When you talk about school-based assessment, the examples I mentioned just now, videos of students' real conversation, videos of teachers sharing opinions, videos of students presenting, these are real-world language use. And when you relate them back to school-based assessment, these are what matters when it comes to how you can actually develop communicative competence, right? So in fact, we are trying to promote that for schools, all the curricular activities that are happening outside of the classroom be used by teachers to give the SBA or the PBD score to students. You know PBD, pentaksiran bilik darjah. The teachers, when they are asked to give a score to the students, tahap 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes in the classroom they say tak cukup masa, not enough time. There is not enough time for us to rule every student. But you look at what the students are doing outside the classroom. If a student can go to the speaker's corner, pick up the mic and can actually recite a poem, that is PBD for the students, which the teacher should be able to observe and be able to give to the student. So there is no need to wait for the 14 minutes of the classroom to give PBD and to give school-based assessment. So when it comes to English language, school-based assessment includes all the activities that are happening inside as well as outside the class. It can become part of the school-based assessment. When you look at it from this angle, then school-based assessment becomes real, authentic, very formative, focusing on skills, what the students can do in the class and what the students can do outside the class with the English language. So if the school head has already put the strategy, all the activities in the school, train the teachers how to get the marks for the school-based assessment for English language from the co-curricular activities to be added to the marks of the quizzes that are done in the classroom. All right, so it's not just the classroom, but school-based assessment should cover everything that's happening in the co-academic and co-curriculum activities for English language in order to develop communicative competence of the students. But for it to work well, the leaders must make sure it is done fair and consistently. So what does it mean when I say fair and consistently? It means that teachers must first come together. Teachers must understand, okay, if a student is able to do this outside the classroom, what kind of score can I give this student? So there must be some guides, all right? Then teachers need to look at students doing it outside the class, and it's not necessarily the English teacher of that English student. It can be any teacher who has observed and who has said, wow, that student actually used English to recite the poem so beautifully. This is tahap 3 for English language, and that teacher can inform the class teacher for English language, okay, this student has done this, you should consider. So when you calibration of all these activities coming together will help. So the teachers must understand what does good performance of the students mean in terms of communicative competence. Because communicative competence cannot be achieved only in the class. You listen to the students outside the class, you will see their real communicative competence, and it becomes far more meaningful. So school-based assessment is all about completing the picture. What cannot be captured inside the classroom, school-based assessment for English language must capture it through the co-academic and co-curriculum activities, because that's where students are using the language in the real way and they're comfortable using the language outside of the classroom. So that is how you can actually cultivate communicative competence through SBA on us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kaminda. So, Dr. Kaminda, I would like to ask you, Why is it crucial for school leaders or school heads to publicly and privately celebrate small wins and milestones in the journey towards English proficiency?
Okay. Why is it important? Small wins are actually very, very important. Small milestones are motivators for students. It's very important. Very, very important that the school leader and the school teacher know how to celebrate small wins, because normally what we celebrate, top achievers, top scorers, we call them to the stage, we give them certificates. But what happens then is those students are not top scorers, but they're very average people, but they can also communicate. They lose the motivation, all right, and then they do not make progress. So for leaders, celebrate progress publicly. Mention during the school assembly. Okay, this month, in the month of October, class B made the most progress in reading. How do I know it? You should have a reading report progress. So in the month of maybe another month, another class. So announce it during assembly. Simple activities done at school level, but which class did it the best? Get the English Society students to monitor this. Get the classroom ambassadors to give you the report, and the school English Language Society students can monitor this. You don't have to give it all to the teachers. Empower the students to do the co-academic and co-curricular activities in school, and let the teachers just be the facilitators, and make announcement of small wins of students within the school. So announcements should not only be about student A represented the school. It is one. But what about the activities in the school? The students are taking part in. They every day they go to the speaker's corner. They talk. Nobody appreciates them. So they will stop talking after some time. These are small wins. Okay. So the strong message is: we value every student. We value every activity that you do in English language. You are not perfect, but you are setting the stage to change the culture of the school. The teachers also can recommend which students can be given this kind of award. Then you can, small wins can also be in the note of a thank you. The school can come up with a thank you note. Okay, today the thank you note goes to student Shazwan. For what? For doing a certain activity in English language in the school. It doesn't have to be outside the school. So a thank you note for some student who did maybe a digital story and put it on the school's YouTube. So this kind of encouragement, which will allow the students to feel that the smallest contribution they gave is a big thing for the school. So tomorrow they will do more. So in this way, they will do more and more and more English language activities. So the effort, the gestures that we show the students are the small wins and milestones towards the journey for English language proficiency. Not always giving rewards to the best student, but giving reward to the students who are actually showing progress in their English proficiency, both in the class and also outside of the class. Because every success of every student, whether big or small, it is like a fuel to the school. It keeps progress alive, and it tells the students your activity has a place in the school. So you celebrate everybody's success. Small wins.
Okay, Doctor, we come into the conclusion. Okay, thank you, Dr. Mindy. After about 1 hour, Dr. Mindy already explained in details about how to set the vision, empowering the teachers, building the ecosystem, and measuring success. So we come to the end of our session today. So if a principal, school leaders, or school heads listening could implement just one pedagogical strategy in their school tomorrow, what would your advice to them, Doctor? Last part of this session.
Okay.
What would be your advice for them?
All right. So here there are two things. One is a pedagogical strategy. Now, if we talk about a pedagogical strategy, then it is something that is done in the classroom. But if you're looking at English excellence as a whole, then it is both in and out of the classroom. So for pedagogical strategy, I would say something that you can start tomorrow is the most important thing. Improve the quality of the classroom lesson. Because we have gone to many schools and we have seen in many classrooms, teachers, when they deliver the lesson, the impact to the students is not coming across. Meaning that students are not really learning, although the teachers are teaching. So where is the gap? So pedagogically, I would say what you can start tomorrow is think about how can I improve the quality of teaching and learning in the classroom. Now, when you're looking at the bigger picture, how can I improve the overall proficiency of the school? I would say start by something which I would call small talk, big impact strategy. So what is this small talk, big impact strategy? So it could be something like, okay, for my school, I want to focus on one skill first. Let's say the skill of reading. So for reading, for the first 3 months, I only want to do this. The first 3 months of the school year, I want to improve my students in their reading. So I will have a quick 5-minute reading activity, a mini discussion activity, and a sharing of students after they have read. Okay, 3 things for the first 3 months. So when this is rolling, later you can think of other strategies. So it is small talk, big impact activities. Then the next 3 months, you can say then, okay, I've done a lot on reading. My focus in the next 3 months is on listening. So one activity for listening that has 3 stages. First, you listen, then you talk about what you have listened, then you discuss. Okay, so that's it. Then I go to speaking, then I go to writing. So that is skills development. So in this way, you build quantity and quality. I am giving you this example because I saw this example happening with the school head who did it with one sekolah orang asli. When I spoke to this school principal, a school head, I asked the school head, how did you motivate your students? Because when I went to the school, the students were speaking in English. Although it is not very perfect, but everywhere, hello madam, hi madam, good morning, how are you? You know, students speaking in English. So it was like, wow, so much of English is everywhere. So when I asked the school head told me, I wanted my students to speak in English. So the first thing I did, for the first 3 months, I just did vocabulary saja. Just vocabulary, build the students' vocabulary. I had 3 activities. All the school teachers did the 3 activities with the students. After 3 months, I told them, okay, vocabulary good. Now we go to sentences. So they started doing sentence activities. Then they went to speaking activities. Then they went to reading activities. So it is small activities, big impact. So I call it small talk, big impact. So that is the one thing that all of you as school heads can also do. It will become very enjoyable, and if you lead it as a school leader, you put the strategy in place, you think about where you want to take it and how you want to take it, and lead your teachers. Start small, start today, and it will be very, very impactful. Don't have to think about banyak-banyak, not many, just one, but the one is so impactful done in the whole school. You will have a great impact. Small talk, big impact activity. That would be my advice to you.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Okay, so in conclusion, driving English excellence is not merely an administrative task, but an act of transformative leadership. Yeah? It begins when school leaders move beyond policy and become the chief champion of the language itself. So their role as a school leaders, school heads, is to take that first step, and then the next, and to visibly lead your school on that journey. So as Dr. Kaminda said just now, start small, but starts now. Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Dr. Kaminda, for sharing and your expertise, and let the audience know what to expect next. Okay. For that, we shall end this session. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.